Hi guys, welcome to Suzy Reality TV, also known as Suzy Empire. Stay tuned for my reality. Thank you.
President pro tem of the Senate, which means the most senior member of the Senate, also chair of the Appropriations Committee, Senator Murray. It sounds like those meetings on Capitol Hill did not go well for Matt Gaetz. He's frankly known as despised by many people in both parties, including his own party, in the House, but also in the Senate, for things he has said about many senators. Many were former House members, but Senator Tillis in particular, several of the others who would be voting on him. Senator Cornyn.
Well, of course, and I'm not surprised by this news because of what you just said, but I do think it goes to the larger point here. I've served in the Senate for a long time and served with numerous presidents from both parties, and they've always vetted who they send over to head these really critical agencies. We need people who are running these agencies, who are capable of doing it, who understand the policies and understand the implications, and you don't just send anybody over that happens to be on TV to run an agency. You need qualified people who cannot have information in their background that could be used against them, blackmailing or anything else. You need people who know the policies, and you need people who really understand the implications of the incredible importance of there being a Secretary of Health, Education, Services, all of our different agencies. And certainly this doesn't surprise me because we have an administration coming in that doesn't vet their nominees before they get to us.
Well, I know we're going to focus on Matt Gaetz and this remarkable withdrawal, but there's also the politics of all of these confirmations and all of these choices. And so much is at stake. You brought up Health and Human Services, which is RFK Jr., of course. And do you have concerns now that the Mar-a-Lago White House, the president-elect, in reacting to this withdrawal, will believe that, okay, critics have gotten one of his choices, but this will make it easier for him to confirm Hegseth for the Pentagon, RFK Jr. for HHS, and importantly, also Tulsi Gabbard for DNI, leading 18 intelligence agencies where she has no qualification.
Well, one interpretation could be, phew, we have a trophy, we can get rid of that, we can just do everybody else. That would be the wrong message to take from this. The right message to take is that we need to vet each one of these candidates and look at them clearly. Let's take RFK. He is someone who is a conspiracy theory when it comes to vaccines. We have decades of experience in this country knowing that our kids are vaccinated so they don't get polio, mumps, measles, rubella, serious implications for healthcare, for the future of our country. Not vetting these candidates and having the American public know that they can trust the person who's overseeing our health to make sure that we don't fire scientists who are doing research, that we don't tell people that they're not going to have their insurance covered for vaccines anymore, or that our kids are going to be unsafe, or the next pandemic that comes down the line, we don't have researchers in place to make sure we protect people's health. Every one of these nominations that you mentioned need to be vetted. We need to know their background. We need to know that they have the right policies. It is our job as United States Senators, Democrat and Republican, to be responsible for the votes we take on these nominations. I think the message from this current nomination being pulled is that we are taking our job seriously and we will continue to do so.
But you're going to be in the minority after January 20th, or earlier in January when the new Congress is sworn in, rather, the first week in January, I believe. So how will you assert your power over people like, Hegseth and Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr.? And do you have concerns? I mean, it used to be, it sounds quaint now, but when I was covering the Bill Clinton White House, 2 nominees for Attorney General were rejected because of nanny issues, employees who were not documented and paid properly, played off the books, whatever it was. And that was considered a serious enough offense to have them withdraw, or be withdrawn. Now we're talking about people not just Matt Gaetz, but others, like the nominee for Secretary of Defense, who have allegations of sexual misconduct against them and have to be investigated. But none of these people had been vetted by the FBI because the president-elect decided that this would be done privately by his team and not engage the FBI, about whom he's very suspicious, to pre-vet them and at least come up with these things. The accusations against Matt Gaetz would have been clearly presented to the president-elect if they had done that properly and signed the ethics agreements.
Well, Andrea, you started your question by asking me what can I do as a Democrat. Well, one of the things that we have to do is make sure these candidates go through the vetting process in the Senate, and we have a process for that. It is our committee hearings. We bring the nominees before them. We ask questions. The committees need to look at their background, especially now since we know this administration does not. And I think it is Republicans who, yes, will be in the majority, will hold the responsibility to make sure we do that on each one of these nominees. That is really critical moving forward.
And before I let you go, what about recess appointments? Can't these people be appointed for as long as 2 years as acting?
Andrea, the answer to that is, why would Republicans be afraid to vote on these candidates if they believe they're qualified and don't have anything in their background that makes them unacceptable to them to